Hi, I'm Mike Van Wambeke, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of In Their Own Words, Perceptions of Grant. During the Civil War, Lincoln had to play a lot of trial and error with his commanders, particularly in the Eastern Theater. But when you look at the slow and steady advance of Union forces against Confederate lines in the Western Theater, it is somewhat puzzling as to why Lincoln did not pull a general from there sooner to lead the Army of the Potomac and face Robert E. Lee. Grant, in particular, had made a name for himself with two early and well-publicized victories against Forts Henry and Donelson, where he earned the nickname Unconditional Surrender Grant for his unyielding terms against the Confederate forces stationed there. Grant, however, does not get the same reputation as Lee of being a marble model of virtue and Southern values, and the aim of this video is to explore some of the criticisms levied against him during the war. We will be hearing from three speakers today, and be mindful of their credentials when assessing the charges they bring against Grant. Do they speak from experience, or is it mostly gossip? Do they have ulterior motives? Do you find their assessment valid, or are they sensationalizing or bending the truth? Consider these questions carefully as we hear from the participants in their own words.
A rumor has just reached me that since the taking of Fort Donelson, General Grant has resumed his former bad habits. If so, it will account for his neglect of my often repeated orders. I do not deem it advisable to arrest him at present, but have placed General Smith in command of the expedition up the Tennessee.
You do once in a while, don't you, say a word to the President, or Stanton, or Halleck about the conduct of the war? Well now, for God's sake, say that General Grant, entrusted with our greatest army, is a jackass in the original package. He is a poor stick sober, and he is most of the time more than half drunk, and much of the time idiotically drunk.
I have had no communication with General Grant for more than a week. He left his command without my authority and went to Nashville. His army seems to be as much demoralized by the victory of Fort Donelson as was that of the Potomac by the defeat of Bull Run. It is hard to censure a successful general immediately after a victory, but I think he richly deserves it. I can get no returns, no reports, no information of any kind from him. I am worn out and tired with this neglect and inefficiency. C.F. Smith is almost the only officer equal to the emergency.
Oh, it pains me so. Grant is a butcher. He's not fit to be at the head of an army. Oh, my dear husband, you are right. He has been very successful in the field. 'Tis true, he generally manages to claim a victory, but oh, my lord, such a victory! He loses 2 men to the enemy's 1. He has no management, no regard for life. I fear if the war should continue 4 years longer, and he should remain in power, he would depopulate the North. I could fight an army as well myself. According to his tactics, there's nothing under the heavens to do but to march a new line of men up in front of the rebel breastworks, just to be shot down as fast as they take their position, and then keep marching until the enemy grows tired of the slaughter. Grant, I repeat, is but an obstinate fool and a butcher.
There are a lot of people that believe in the adage that winning takes care of everything. If so, Grant fits the moniker well. As a successful general in the field, he would eventually rise up to the rank of lieutenant general, a post not held since the time of George Washington. That being said, he was dogged by critics who voiced similar opinions to those in this video throughout his tenure in the Army. To what extent do you think these opinions stood in the way of his success? Why might Lincoln stand by him despite these criticisms? Study the other resources on this page to build a fuller understanding of the charges levied against Grant in order to come to your own conclusion on this issue. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you'll check out the other videos on this site for more episodes of In Their Own Words.